Hello guys, welcome here to another edition of Out of Turn 4. I apologize for it being late. Just a lot going on this past week, unfortunately. But I did not want to leave you without an episode, so here we are. If you're wondering why the video is so choppy, we just figured out that I'm going to need a new graphics card, so bear with me, bear with it for the time being. So any video that comes out of my computer, unfortunately, it's just going to be low quality because of the fact that we do not have an active graphics card that is working on here, so we're kind of operating bare bones. Coming up, we're going to discuss Texas. We're going to discuss the IndyCar schedule. But before I do start with everything, leading into Talladega, some big news is that KBM has sold their truck organization to Spire Motorsports. Kind of a shocker because it sounded like Kyle was going to keep the organization, hold on until Brexton started racing, and go from there. So rather a shock, but but Spire, man, they are no longer a small team. And say what you want about them, small team, they got this. No, well, they're a big deal. They're in the big leagues, and it'll be interesting to see what two drivers they pick up, or three. Do they run? We'll see what happens. But let's begin with John Hunter Nemechek at Texas. Continues his round season and advances to the round of 8. Congrats to him. Didn't watch much of the Texas races, for obvious reasons. Byron, he also wins to advance to the round of 8 after late race restart by Bubba. He will advance on Bubba falls to -2 on Cutland, one of his better races. So this could be a race that could favor Bubba. We'll see. I'm not gonna say anything against him, but boy, if he lost, then this is going to be the race to do it, because I don't know if this man's gonna point in at all. I hate to say it. I just don't think. I mean, he's gotten better at road courses, but I just don't see it, unfortunately. No hate against him, but I'm just saying if he has to point in at the Roval, I don't feel too good about his probability. Overall, it was an okay race. Kyle Larson wrecked from the lead, which is unfortunate. So he is only +2, entering 2 tracks, at least a track at Talladega. He has never been good at plate racing. So he may be entering the role with his back to the wall. So this is going to be a race he's got to survive. I think that's going to be the words to him, is survive. But, we'll of course give our Talladega predictions in just a second, but I do want to talk about this racing news. Of course, we saw the entry list for trucks. Brett Moffitt and Chandler Smith have been added to the entry list. Chandler Smith releasing the recently released Matt DiBenedetto from Rackley War. So Chandler Smith will drive for them. Brett Moffitt will drive in a second front row motorsports truck to give a little bit of help to Smith, who is trying to lock his way into the championship 4. Again, maybe might pick some a bit, but good to see Front Row expanding their truck program a little bit. And Chandler Smith, he could be a surprise favorite. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what happens here at Talladega. But here's the point I think that's going to take up the most time in the episode. The IndyCar 2024 schedule has finally been released after a long wait. And of course, it is 17 points paying races plus 1 exhibition race. Let me just go through real quick. I got it on my phone. That's why I can look down. March 10th, we kick off with the Streets of St. Pete. That, of course, will be a race on NBC, big NBC. March 24th, the Thermal Club $1 million Challenge. That is the only non-points race it will be on big NBC, March 24th. Fast forward a month, we've got the Streets of Long Beach, the first race on USA Network. I'm going to save my thoughts for the end. So, Byron Motorsports, then a week later, that'll be on NBC, big NBC. Then 2 weeks later, we're at the Indianapolis Road Course, the only visit to the road course on NBC. Then we got, of course, 2 weeks later, the 108th Indianapolis 500 on NBC. Following week, June 2nd, we go to the Streets of Detroit. That'll be on USA, the second race on there. We then go to Road America. That'll be on Big NBC June 9th. June 23rd, then we go to WeatherTech Raceway Luna Seca. That'll be USA race. July 7th, we go to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. That'll be a Big NBC race. Before we go a week later to the Iowa Double. Both races for that will be on NBC July 13th and 14th. Then we go into the streets of Toronto. Of course, the Peacock exclusive race. And here we have another month off before we go to our next oval at Worldwide Technology Raceway. That race will be moved back to the nighttime. It'll be on USA. A week later, we're in Portland, Oregon, at Portland International Raceway on USA. And of course, the worst kept secret in IndyCar silly season, we return to the Milwaukee Mile for races 15 and 16. Race 15 at Milwaukee will be August 31st. That'll be on Peacock. Race number 2 from there will be September 1st on USA Network. And of course, 2 weeks later, we will crown a champion on the streets of Nashville. That will be on Big NBC. That is race 18 of the season, race 17 of the points paying races, and of course, there's still a possibility that Argentina will host an exhibition at the conclusion of the season. Where do I begin? First off, 17 races. I understand maybe that's because of the TV deal looking at, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 races out of 18. Now, of course, that's a little above 50%, but really 9 out of the 17 races. 9 out of 17 on the Big NBC versus the past season we had 13. Now, there is the Olympics, but Long Beach on USA, what are we thinking? Long Beach is probably the second most prestigious event on the calendar, and I'm siding with a lot of those people on that. What else? Milwaukee weekend. Streets of Toronto, we've got used to being a Peacock exclusive. I'm not gonna put the finger there, but down the stretch, let's see. Streets of Toronto is race 12. Of course, that's on Peacock. Race 13, Worldwide Technology Raceway, USA. Race 14, Portland International Raceway, USA Network. Then races 15 and 16. First one Peacock exclusive, and the second one is USA exclusive. Now, I know the dates for the Olympics, and I get, the Olympics is big on NBC. Man. Let me just take a look, because it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, so the Olympics are only running from July 26th to August 11th. Okay, July 26th to August 11th. So, hence why there's no races after the 21st. What exactly is NBC airing between the 17th, the 25th, the 31st, and the 1st that is so important that it's going to essentially take away from the championship battle that is taking place in IndyCar? What exactly is there that's taking away from it? Because not for nothing, NBC is carrying the last 6 playoff races for the NASCAR Cup Series for these next handful of weeks, I do believe. And I will double check to verify it. Now I get NASCAR draws in big ratings, but NBC just had the biggest ratings hike in, for, again, biggest ratings that we've had for IndyCar in recent memory. For every step forward, there is at least 3 steps backward. And this is one of those things that's just 3 steps backward. 2 races exclusively on Peacock, and 2 of them in the final 6. Those races draw at maximum 300,000. Okay? This is a season that I think when we get to the end of it, it's not going to be tooth and nail with Formula One Instead, it's going to be drastically behind Formula One in every category. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable by NBC. Now again, I get it's over 50% still on the main network. And I get the Olympics, but again, there's no races during the Olympics. There's none. So explain to me, again, what events is NBC carrying that is more important than IndyCar right now? Again, a few golf tournaments, I get it. But what between August 17th and September 1st is on the NBC network, the main NBC network, that is more important? Because college football doesn't start, so you don't have to worry about Big Ten Saturday night when the series goes to worldwide. Maybe you are competing with the Cup Series regular season finale. I don't know. The Cup schedule is going to be interesting because I don't know how they're going to carry NASCAR when the dates are literally the weekend after the Super Bowl for the first race and the final race of the season the first weekend in October or November. So maybe that's something I'm not factoring in, but still, you don't worry about football until September 15th. I'm just disgusted, to be honest, not just with the TV coverage. TV coverage gets enough already out of the gates. I'm harsh about that. And you guys know for years how I felt about NBC covering IndyCar. But this schedule, too, might I point out. Now, again, maybe in the minority when I say, Sayonara Texas, that's the best part of the schedule. That Texas is not a part of it. But no ovals from March 10th at St. Pete all the way to the Indianapolis 500. And keep in mind the Indianapolis 500 is the only big oval on the schedule this offseason, or this upcoming season. That's a little embarrassing, if you ask me. Let's see. Glad they're on the Road America. Glad they're returning to Ohio, which was expected. Glad that they're the only other oval minus worldwide are doubleheaders. And in Milwaukee, it sounds like it wasn't planned to be a doubleheader, but because Texas and IndyCar couldn't work out a deal, that is why that race is a double. So, it's tough to remain patient, because IndyCar's growing, but it's growing just so slow. Like, we need to seriously, this schedule gets a C-, and that's just being gracious. It definitely deserves a D, and it's flirting with the D, because there's just, and I'm giving them a C- because of Milwaukee. Because Milwaukee is probably the best part, is that it's a new track. But we need more new tracks. That's the thing. And, I just wish we could go to a big oval, not only before the Indianapolis 500, but even after the Indianapolis 500. And the problem is, the only big oval that could host an event before the Indy 500, that one's gone. It's bulldozed as we speak in Fontana, California. I would have loved that. Then I personally would have loved, not only for Auto Club to host race, but frankly, as much as I love Detroit last year, I think Michigan should host that race. If not Michigan, you know what I'm going to say, is it's Pocono. But there should be 3 big ovals to accommodate, not to make up for the fact that there's now 4 races on bull rings. So, that's minus a D without lucky. That's great. Let's talk about the picks for the upcoming weekend. Truckers Talladega. I like Zane Smith in this one. I feel like Ford always brings something competitive to Talladega. Zane Smith got a teammate this race. So I'm going to pick Zane Smith. He'll advance to the championship 4. Then for the Truck Cup Series at Talladega. I want to pick Bubba so bad. I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney again.